welcome to the Antique Trader. My name is Sharon Tavares, and we're here at the Crafties Mall in Northwest Military in San Antonio, Texas. And we're here with Jean Wildman from the Red Hat Society. And today we're going to talk about hats. We have a lot to talk about. Tell us about yourself, Jean.
Well, let's see, I'm approaching that, passing that century mark, third century mark, and I was in insurance for years and years. I came down to San Antonio to help my son out with his business and found that I was working all the time in the yard, in the house, and my son said, "Get out, Mom, get out, do some social," and I found red hatting, and you can see all the social here now.
Well, now you're also a collector of hats.
Oh, yes, been doing this for years. I did for a short time have a antique and collectible store just outside of Dallas. And because of situations like my husband passed away and tornado came through and took my roof off and everything, and I said, "Oh, can't do this anymore. I gotta buy the food for the house, you know." So,
Which is your oldest hat?
which is my oldest one? I would say this probably right here. This is
Let's hold it up so everybody can see
this hat right here. It's called well, I call it a frisbee, but it's called a flat top. And you probably, if you watched any of the shows on television, Wild West shows or anything, you saw the little school marm wearing a hat like this.
Mighty small.
Oh, it just sets on your head. You have to pull this to the back so it'll stick in, stick to the back of your head and
How
hang it
old
on.
would you say this hat is?
Well, all of my hats, let me just say this, all of my hats I have had for 50 plus years. And a lot of my hats came from a little lady who thought I was kind of nice. And when she passed away, in her will, she told her daughter, "My hats go to Jean."
Okay, let's go on to this next one. Okay, and this is, oops.
Yeah, this is when they had kind of gotten out of doing hats. Different things had happened in wars and etc. And so they just grabbed a piece of yarn or something and just started and just made the hat from there. And you can see it. This is ribbons and silk,
That's
what do you call it,
very
cording
interesting.
and like that.
There we go.
The little lady that I got them from would, I have a hat box here somewhere, she would put her hats in her little box. She would write her name on it and her address, and then she would put where she was going. And she'd get on the bus and travel from Dallas to Memphis, Tennessee. And she wanted to be sure nobody got her hat, so she had her little information on there. So.
Well, there's a saying in Europe, if you want to get ahead, you have to wear a hat.
Right.
And that is so true.
Well, now hats have been up and down all through the centuries, and it's always been discussed. Is it a necessity to wear a hat, or is it just a frivolous accessory? And I think it goes both ways.
You think so, huh? So, and this is into like the pillbox collection, that type of thing?
This would be a hat that my grandmother would wear, and she passed away at 80. So I would say this hat is getting pretty darn close to 100 years old. She's been gone for at least 30 years now. I came from a family like that; they kept having children into the older ages. So, but this would be one that I would see Grandma Bessie getting ready for church and putting this hat on.
It's amazing how the material seems to last so long, and it's not dirty, it's not faded or anything like that. It's wonderful.
I know you find a lot that have really, and I tried not to bring you any of those. And this is, I call this Salvation Army.
This is the real McCoy. Okay, with the veil.
They were real popular in the later 30s before we got into really the true, let me put it this way, the older ladies that did not go flapper, this would be the kind of hat that they would wear.
So this would go towards the back, the bogo, and this is the front of the hat.
That's correct.
That's really, really nice. Okay, let's go and play with this one. This one would be a schoolgirl hat type of thing?
Sort of. You see the ladies with their puffed sleeves and everything, the Gibson girl? This would be a Gibson girl hat. And the straw came about because France started sending hats over Up until then, we weren't using, here in the States, we weren't using straw that much. And France started sending us straw hats, and the millinery here began to
So
catch on to
what
it.
year would you say more likely?
That's probably about the 20s, 1920s.
About the 20s. Now you mentioned something to me previously about war hats during the war.
No, not necessarily war hats, but what happened to hatting, what happened to
During
the
war?
millinery during war. Like with World War I, okay, the ladies did not wear much but a real plain bonnet, which I'm sorry, I don't have a bonnet, but the ladies didn't wear anything but real plain bonnets, except for those of the upper class. And the reason being was they would be plain. And the reason being is if you wore a bonnet that had decorations all over it, then everybody would say you're vain and you're not interested in the war and the war efforts. So they had to, keep it calm.
Wear a plain bonnet.
Different when we went to World War II. World War II, it's all colors, anything goes, because it was so depressing at home during the war that if you went out and you brought somebody a smile and helped them with the depression they might be going through with a bright hat, that's what you did.
Oh, okay, let's take a look at this one. And this is what year?
Would be pretty much in the 30s, 40s. I call that the movie star hat. If you look inside, you can see most of these are all fancy millinery hats too.
And this one is Body Made in Italy, Bridget. Okay, Jan Leslie collection. Here we go. Okay, let's go on to the next one here. And this one, I think I remember something like this when I was growing up.
This would be that would be like the 40s, the 50s, yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd see them at church.
Yes.
And ladies started wearing hats because the Pope and the Catholic Church insisted that they have their heads covered. But in 1967, they reversed that, and the ladies didn't have to cover their heads anymore.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And I used to have a piece of little lace, like a doily like type of thing.
Go over your head.
That you could just pin it up on top of your head, and then after that, my mother says, well, you have to wear a hat to church. Okay?
Well, yeah,
So we
because
wear
you're
a
grown
hat
up
to
now,
church.
so you have to wear a hat
You
to
have
church.
to wear
Yeah.
a hat to church. Okay. So,
Well, in 1967, the Pope reversed it, and it almost killed millinery because ladies didn't want to wear hats anymore. They were a problem. They started cutting their hair off short, and because of World War II, they had gotten used to doing men's jobs. They were still doing men's jobs, and they went more masculine on their looks and everything.
it's a shame that nowadays we don't wear enough hats.
Right.
I think that hats are beautiful. They look beautiful on anybody and everybody. I think everybody should wear a hat. Let's talk about this little thing here, which I love so much. Let me see here.
That's what the type ladies in England would wear, if they're going out to ride. And they would have a riding suit on, and then they would wear their little hats propped on the side. And of course, they got the ribbons. And I don't see, but here's a hat that has the ribbon down the back. Do you know why ribbons go in the back of hats, down your back?
Why?
Because it covered the nape of your neck. That was considered an erogenous area. So you had to keep it covered up, and it was only to be exposed at night, or if you were at a fancy evening event, which I guess would eventually go into the night.
Well, I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's very basic and very important information. Okay, let's see here. Could you reach that one there,
This
please?
is a homemade. It's an old. It's an old straw.
gorgeous.
And it's just, I did this myself, and I brought it to show you what the ladies would do when they were doing their millinery at home. They would just slap anything on them.
This is gorgeous. I love it because I love
thank
flowers.
you. And they would just slap anything like this hat, whatever they had, they'd get a cheap straw, and then they would just put it on, Women, we went through depressions and everything else, so they didn't always have the money for their hats. So they made do, the ones that cared for hats made do with what they could.
Now, this is not long enough to cover the nape of the neck.
No, that's not really. But but supposedly that's what it was supposed to do.
Okay. But how would it if your hair was down? Because women used to have very long hair. Your hair would have been up in a bun at the time. Or?
When they would go up into buns, and they would,
the
you know, when they
Gibson
did the real
look?
tall hats. Now then, they did a kind when their hats. Remember when you've seen the pictures of the Washington, George Washington's area and like that, and they were wearing the big white, big tall hats. Well, they still wore hats. They would take wood and they would build them a frame, and that frame would set around that big wad of hair up there, you know, all that big tower. And then they would take silk and stretch over it, and that was their hat. Now, if they really wanted to be fancy, they'd find a little miniature hat or make a little miniature or something and stick on top of it.
Wow. Okay. Now let's see what else do we have on the side over there. Let me put
Well,
this one
basically over here we pretty much have red hats.
Oh, this is beautiful. This is just a rose right smack in
Just
the
a
middle of
plain
the hat.
rose.
That is gorgeous. Could we see that? But yet, what I've noticed about these hats is that you have to have a particular type of face, and you can't be heavy set or whatever to wear such a tiny little hat.
Some hats can make you feel and look awful slender. After World War I, the ladies got into the more slender torsos and everything. You know, they were wearing the big dresses and the big, you know, really stuffy. They got in. So what they did, and here's another one. They would go to big hats, small bodies and great big hats, and that gave them a beautiful silhouette.
Well, I see that this one has probably been stitched by machine.
Yes, this is a more up to date. This one's not exactly.
Okay.
It's our red hat that one that the red hat ladies would wear,
All right.
and so would be this one. But I brought these so that you could see the big brims, because the brims go up and down all through the centuries.
And your hat in particular, I like. Did you put that together?
No, a lady did for me. You know, put it together for me. It's an older hat underneath it. It's an old hat that I had, and it was getting kind of beat up, and so she went to work, and this is what she ended up with. We have some
gorgeous.
really good millinery people here in San Antonio.
Well, we have to set up an old millinery shop so that we can shop for more hats.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea. How about your top hat over there? I'm interested in that one.
Well, of course, top hats, when ladies started going masculine, they started wearing the top hats. Up to then, they did not. And a top hat, we call it top hats. They called it 3 bricks. 3 bricks or chimneys, you know. But it was
Okay.
not called a top hat. We call it a top hat, but they called it 3 bricks or chimneys.
Okay, not for chimney sweeps either.
No, it'd get kind of dirty, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to stop right here and we'll be right back.
Is it okay?
Hi, welcome back, and welcome back to the Antique Trader. So, tell us, how did you really get involved with the Red Hat Society?
Well, I called in and just joined, you know, and said, I want a chapter. And they said, well, who's the queen? And I said, how do you get to be queen? And they said, well, you're doing it now. And I went, oh, okay, I'm the queen.
Okay. I wish it were
It's
that
that
easy.
simple. Oh, it is. It is simple. The Red Hats is a group of women that it started as 50 and up, and they were through raising their children and through, like I said, doing the drudgeries of housework and keeping the yard and all that. And it's time for them to get out and have a little fun and have, you know, make friends, have fun. The first chapter was formed in Florida, and we've gone from there. We're in all 50 states, 30 countries, and we have 40,000 plus members.
Wow, impressive. Very, very impressive. And how many of your ladies would you say are here today?
Oh, I can't count fast. A couple of dozen? Does that look at, or a dozen and a half, maybe?
About a dozen and a half.
About a
Well, in a few minutes, we're going to go around and we're going to greet the ladies.
Right.
Yes.
And well, before we do that, or before, I want to be sure that everybody knows, out there that's watching us, that the way you join is that you simply go to the Red Hat Society on the computer.
Well, we're going to have that information.
Oh, okay. Well, you
we're
know,
going to have that information
I,
at the end of the program.
well,
We're
you know,
gonna
I
post
have
it
this
for you.
sign on that says ambassador, so you know I have to get it in.
So we're going to take 2 minutes now, and we're going to go and greet the ladies, and we're going to get their names so you get to meet and see all the pretty hats. We'll be right back. We're back here with the Red Hat Society, and I'm going to introduce you to some of the girls. And you are?
My name is Teresa Noble. I've been part of the Red Hat Society for about 10 years. I've been a queen, and then I wasn't a queen, and then I live in Ohio, and I live in Texas half the year. So I'm a member of chapters in Ohio and a member of chapters here.
What do you like best about being a member of the Red Hat Society?
You get to meet so many wonderful people all over the world. When you go to the conventions, you get to meet people from Australia and all the other countries, and you stay friends with them even if you don't see them except once a year. It's really cool.
Thank you for being on the program. And let's come over here. Let's see if we can just squeeze through here. Okay. And you are, ma'am.
My name's Linda Johnson, and I've been in the Red Hats since this past November.
And what made you join?
Well, my good friend over here, Gay, who is our chapter queen, I met her, and she's a fun person, and I wanted to go have fun too.
Oh, okay, so this is not a case of misery loves company?
No. This is fun loves company.
There you go. Okay, and this lady back here, your name is?
I'm Dina Somerville. I'm Jean's vice queen, and I've been in the Red Hats, I believe, since '08.
Oh my, that's a long, long time of having fun. Okay.
Hi.
And you, ma'am.
Yeah, my name is Gay Izdebski, and I'm Queen of Joyful Noise. And in April, I'll be 11 years with the Red Hat Society. One of the first things I did when I moved back here to Texas is to to call and find chapters here in our area, because no matter where you go, anywhere, in the United States, overseas, or whatever, you can find a Red Hat chapter. It's a huge sisterhood. And so you always have a friend whose purpose is also just to have fun and friendship. You know what I mean? And so it's a wonderful society and sisterhood that I love.
That's wonderful. Thank you for being on the program. You are love.
I am Frances Garza Alvarado, and I am the vice queen of a relatively new chapter. We were formed in August of 2014. We are called the Divas Divinas. We are all working together, getting ready for the Red Hat Society's 17th annual convention. We're looking forward to welcoming and having fun with ladies from all over the country and from all over the world.
Thank you for being on the program, Miss Diva. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
And your name?
My name is Carmen Sanchez, and I'm one of the Divas Divinas, which means divine divas in English.
That was wonderful that you gave us that translation.
Right. I also design a lot of the women's hats and fascinators for the ladies in our group.
That's great, because I'll be looking forward to seeing you. I need a hat.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Guzman, and I'm part of the Divas Divinas as well. been with the chapter since the inception of it, and we actually enjoy each other's companies immensely. Besides just meeting once a month, we also go to dinner, go to movies, and if something, if one of us has a problem, we all get together and lift them up, and in prayer or whatever they want us to lift them up in.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
My name is Lupe Rocha, and I'm also from the Divas Divinas. I've been with them since it started, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Oh, I'm sure. Divas Divinas? Yes, definitely.
Enjoyed it.
Okay, let's go back here. Good afternoon. Your name is?
Hi, my name is Elva Diaz, and I'm with the Divas Divinas. Been with them for almost 2 years now, and just enjoying the fellowship, the friendship that those ladies, and like Sylvia said, when you're in need, they're the first ones to come to your aid.
That's great. Are you a hat collector on a regular basis?
No, I'm not. I started collecting when I joined the club.
Here,
Hi.
I love your hat.
Oh, thank you. I'm Vivian Gonzalez, and I am the queen of the Divas Divinas. We've been together since August of 2014, and our sisterhood does some charitable work also. We love to have fun, and we love to help people.
What kind of charitable work do you do?
Well, we did some at the Megalena House. They needed books for the children to read. The Megalena House is for battered women that are in hiding. And we collected 200 books within all of us and donated those. And Christmas and Easter we give to the children. There's a men's group that needed...
Do the men wear red hats too?
Well...
I'm sorry about that. Couldn't help myself.
No. But we've also given socks, clothing to the underprivileged men that are homeless.
Thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you.
Okay, we're almost trying to wind this up. Let's see if I can get back there. There's a round little table back there. Let me take a break and we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. We're at the Craftique Mall with the Red Hat Society, and we're introducing you to some of the girls and some of the pretty hats. And you are, ma'am.
I'm Adelaide Robinson, and I'm also with the Diva Divinas. And I have enjoyed being with them, not only for the fun that we have and the fellowship, but also because of the fact that we do different things for different organizations to help people.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for being on the program.
Hi, thank you. My name is Sylvia Esquivel, and I'm the rowdy one from Divas Divinas. I want you to know that everything I have is red and purple.
That's wonderful. So do I.
My favorite color.
I know, right?
So what kind of feathers are those? They look like chicken feathers.
Close to it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
No,
being on
you're
the
welcome.
program.
Thank you.
Okay, and here we have the pink hats.
Right. Hi, I'm Edith Reyes, and I'm with the Divas Divinas. And I know some people don't know the difference, but the reason why I wear pink is anyone under 50 gets to wear a pink hat and lavender, while the red hatters over 50 wear the red and the purple.
Am I allowed to wear a pink hat?
If you feel like you're under 50, sure, join us. Why not?
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Castañeda, and I'm part of the Divas Divinas, and I've been with them for about 2 years, and they're just a wonderful group of ladies that have a lot of fun.
Thank you for being on the program. Good afternoon, and I see a feather, not a hat.
Yes, yes. I just ran out the door and grabbed a feather because you just have to wear red on your head. So I did. I'm Alana Fell. I'm with the Fiesta Red Roses here in San Antonio, and I'm starting my second year, and I'm having so much fun and fellowship, bunco, movies, dinner, excitement. If you can think of it, you can do it.
I'm Janie Krause. I'm in the Fiesta Red Roses. Been there with them for about a year, and we have a lot of fun, and we give a lot of support to each other, which is really great. And it's just fun being a Red Hatter.
Thank you so much for being on the program. Good afternoon, and your name is?
I'm Janie Castillo, and I am with the Divas Divinas. I'm a newbie. I just been with the Divas for almost a year in July, I believe.
And how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. My name is Victoria Lopez. Actually, my name is Sylvia Lopez, but we have so many Sylvias, so I choose to be called Victoria. I belong to the Divas Divinas, and I just started in November, so I'm a new member. But I did it because I needed an outing, and this is great for me, and I love it. I can't wait to get out.
I am so glad. Okay, we're almost rounding up the program. Let me ask you a question, Jean. How do they name these chapters? Do they pick their own names?
Yes, yes, that's what they do. See, my chapter is Bare Brilliant Red Hatters because, well, it's not BEAR, it's BEXAR for the county because I wanted ladies from everywhere. Nobody's rejected in my chapter. Okay. But no, they pick their own.
So bears are brilliant?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and brilliant in all kinds of ways, you know.
Well, Jean, I'd like to thank you for being on the program. And thank you, girls, so much. If you would just like to wave goodbye to everybody. Thank you for being on the program, girls, and I hope to see you again. And the next time I see you, I will definitely be wearing a red hat.